Welcome back, smart people. Today is an exciting day. We'll talk about something super cool, which is known as artificial intelligence. We'll talk about what artificial intelligence or AI is. We'll talk about how it's going to affect our lives in coming future. And we'll also look into the top 3 stocks that I'm looking to add to my personal portfolio in the last quarter of 2023. So let's talk about understanding what AI means. AI is basically when computers can solve complex math problems like understanding image or text and making decisions that only humans can do. So it's basically giving machines a brain of their own. Since we are approaching the last quarter of this year, let's talk about the top 3 AI stocks that's on every investor's list. I will briefly talk about the latest news in the AI development. I will talk about the stats of the company, and I will give you my take whether it's a good buy right now or not. So let's get right in. So the first stock on my list is Adobe, ticker symbol ADBE. As most of you might know, Adobe is basically a software where you can edit your pictures, photos, and that kind of stuff. Adobe has announced their latest integration of AI engine called Firefly to their popular Illustrator applications that will help designers significantly reduce the time it takes to apply colors to their projects. In easy words, designers will be able to put in text prompts and the application is going to apply those colors automatically. And this is going to save them hours and hours of work. All right, guys, let's get into Adobe's chart and stats. So me personally, I'm looking at the 500 level. I'm waiting for it to bounce off this level. My stop loss is gonna be super tight around 475, 480, and I'm gonna keep an eye between the 500 and the 550. Now let's get into some stats. As you can see, the 52-week high was 552.94, and the 52-week low was 274.73. The market cap for Adobe is around $233.22 billion as of today's price. If we come down, we can see the profit margin for this company is 26.34%. Float is about 454.43 million. The revenue was $18.43 billion and the gross profit was 15.44. For me personally, Adobe looks pretty strong for future, and this is one of the stocks that I'm considering to add to my personal portfolio. The number 2 stock on my list is Nvidia, ticker symbol NVDA. Nvidia is an American tech giant that not only produces GPUs, but it does way more than you might know about. And recently, Nvidia announced it's going to team up with Intel, which is one of their big rivals. They will both team up and work together on confidential computing on AI workloads. As AI progresses, there is going to be higher and a better need of stronger security systems. And besides these 2 tech giants, there is nobody else who's doing this anyways, and this is going to be a big step forward for both of these companies. Secondly, Nvidia also teamed up with another tech company called Snowflake. Together, they are providing AI tech to other businesses in which they would be able to customize their own AI softwares and cloud services. So keeping this in mind, Nvidia not only produces products for end consumer, but also for other bigger businesses. All right, guys, let's get into Nvidia's chart. This is 1 year, 1 day chart. As you can see, Nvidia hit all-time highs of 488, and right now it's around 430 level. Me personally, I'm going to keep an eye on the 400 level. I might add some position around that level, but I'm going to keep a tight stop loss around 375, 380 level. There might be a little bit of consolidation period here, but once it bounces off, the next level I'm going to keep an eye on is going to be 450. If it crosses 450, Nvidia might actually hit another all-time highs. All right, now let's get into the stats of the company. The market cap is over $1.07 trillion as of today. The 52-week high is 480.88. The 52-week low is 108.13. As you can see, the float is around 2.73 billion. Profit margin is 18.52%. Revenue was $25.88 billion. This is a pretty good stock in my opinion, considering the company's valuation. In my personal opinion, I would be looking to add my position once it bounces off 400. Okay, the next company we'll talk about is TSMC. TSMC is basically a semiconductor company just like Nvidia. However, there is a major difference. TSMC has more than 50% of the market share in the semiconductor market and is making way more money than all these companies combined. Many other tech companies actually use TSMC's products in one way or another. When it comes down to valuing the companies, TSMC's price to earnings ratio is actually 23x, while Nvidia's is 131x. This means TSMC is a much better financial choice for a long-term investment. However, there is a concern because TSMC is actually based in Taiwan, and China wants to take over Taiwan by force. So, if China succeeds in taking over Taiwan, this would be a bad news for all the Western countries since China is going to control most of the semiconductor production. And China might stop the supply to the Western countries. That's why US and other countries are interested in Taiwan's ability to defend itself. Now let's take a look at TSMC's price chart and let's look at some key levels. And I will share my take at what point I would be looking to long it. Alright guys, this is TSMC 5-year chart. As you can see, there was a massive run up from mid 2020 all the way to 2022. And then there was a dip at the start of this year. But after that, there was another small run up. And right now, TSMC is around 90 to 95 level. Me personally, I'm going to watch the 100 level. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Once it crosses that and shows a strong move, I'm going to add my position around that level. My stop loss is going to be around 75 for this, because for me, this is a long-term stock and I'm going to hold this for a while. Alright guys, now let's talk about some quick stats of the company. TSMC has a market cap of about 441.63 billion. The 52-week high was 110.69 and the low was 59.43. Profit margin for this company is around 43.33% and the revenue was 2.23 trillion. The gross profit is around 1.35 trillion and the total cash is about 1.49 trillion. These are some pretty impressive numbers. I'm going to keep an eye on this stock. Alright guys, I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.